Hi guys and welcome to Thruzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What you're looking at is the 2024 BMW X320D M Sport variant. This was launched last year along with earlier in 2023 also was the BMW X3's facelifted version that was launched, which was this one with the regular variants. So what came earlier was the petrol and then came the diesel. Then a year later when this came in, just before that, the normal petrol version was discontinued, and then the prices were also went up by almost 80,000 rupees. Then later on in the year 2023 there was a subtle increase of 30,000 rupees on the BMW X3. This is the M Sport variant, which cost 69.9 lakh rupees, which is almost 1.5 lakh rupees more than the standard variant. With the M Sport variant, you know what you should get, but I'll explain that in a bit. So this variant came along, and after, in between all of this, the BMW X3 M40i also was launched with a 6-cylinder petrol engine, all-wheel drive, and which was basically the SUV version of the M340i that was widely appreciated by Indian audience and was sold out within minutes every single time it was launched. So BMW decided to make it an SUV and get rid of the petrol version, normal petrol version, and offer something much more spicier, fruitier with the X3 M40i, which is actually quite brilliant. And this is how BMW strategy is going ahead: offer petrols which are fantastic, while the diesels will be diesels like normal diesels. So that's that. I hope there's nothing really normal about anything which any luxury brand does. It's just that we have to put things in in order to make you explain what things are all about. So this is the facelifted version of the BMW X3, and as you can see, proportions haven't changed. What you can see in the front is of course the new M Sport bumper, which also is slightly different than the usual changes that we see. So there are lines here drawn, and the bumper is not really quite big. It is big enough, but not overly like how it used to be. The grills are a decent size. The angular LED lamps look nice, and you've got the M Sport badging there. These are the M wheels with the M badging, but surprisingly no blue calipers here on offer. I have no idea why that has happened this time. But coming to the back, this is where a lot of questions come in, because these tail lamps are dramatically new, unseen before. They look like a pin, and clearly distinguishes itself quite well. It's been grabbing attention on the road till the time we could drive it. The X3 was immediately spotted on the road, because these are the most unique headlamps ever to be seen in India, and pretty much I think around the world as well. So that's fantastic. The M bumper continues to be different at the back as well, with these 4 vents and chrome tips. Diffuser here in piano black, which that's how BMW likes to do diffusers at the back. And yeah, that's what the car is all about. Let's get inside. M badging here, M badging here, and this is the interior of the car. The screen is the same as before. Surprisingly, these seats don't have back adjustability or any ventilation yet. It's got power and memory as standard, and yeah, that's the interior. That's the screen, and as always, it works brilliantly. Closing the very heavy doors and seeing that this is the new Harman Kardon system, the headlamp controls and illumination controls. Stocks, the stock which says BC controls all the functions that you can see here, which is brilliant. Cup holders, wireless charger, and X3 badging here. All of this closes very neatly. The new center console looks quite nice with the iDrive, which is actually quite great. Vehicle status can be checked from here. You can see all the features here right there. What I also want to show you is something very cool. This is the sports display, which will show you how much horsepower and torque is being used, along with how much G's are being used. So you can see that here as well, and here, but on a bigger scale of course. And going into settings, then you can go into general settings, and let's go into displays, and you can see you can customize the instrument cluster right here with that, and you can assign key buttons what they do. General settings are on offer. That's how you control the AC. Max AC button is on offer. Menu AC will take you here, where you can synchronize the temperatures, choose heating and ventilation from the front vents, as well as the rear vents, and here you can deactivate the rear settings and disable the controller as well. So anybody who's using these vents here will not be able to do so. So I think this is for keeping the kids in check, I guess, because this is surprisingly witty and surprising to see this aspect here as well. It's been there always, but we've quite noticed for the first time, because when I switched it off, somebody said that please on the AC we can't do anything from here, so I had to go and put there, which is actually quite weird and witty is what we can say. German humor, I assume, is, let's term it that way. Eco Pro mode and Sport mode can be customized. It's got air suspension, so it will work accordingly. And what you can also see is something I want to show you is the park assist, the reversing assist, the camera picture, and when you go into settings, you can control all of these here. Panoramic view with GPS based. So if I were to there's a 3D view on offer, there's a car wash mode on offer as well, there's the parking mode as well, and you can use the side, the back, and all of that quite easily. So park assist will make life easier for parallel parking and other things. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is here. Digital key is on offer, so you can control all of these things via your phone. And you've got navigation, you've got media, you've got a very good Harman Kardon sound system, and yeah. So before I go into the back, I want to show you the under thigh support, which is easily accessible like this and like this, which improves the comfort dramatically on long trips, that's for sure. I know this, I've used this time and again in BMWs, and they are actually quite fantastic. What you get also in terms of features is a heads up display here, quality build finish, everything is fantastic as always. There is nothing wrong in that aspect. Sitting behind my own driving position, 5'11", lot of legroom, very good knee room, the AC controls, the charging point there, the large door pads, X badging here as well, manual sun blinds, speakers, sound system, cup can holders here, very chunky big armrest here. Seats are actually quite comfortable. Under thigh support is a bit lacking, but backrest is great, headroom is generous, and yeah, this is how the cabin looks like. Pretty comfortable indeed. 3 headrests along with 3 seat belts on offer. 5-star Euro NCAP rating, of course. Nets to keep some stuff, and yeah, pretty nice cabin. I just think the under thigh support could have been better on this car, but nevertheless, it is comfortable for the usual heighted passengers. Electronic tailgate, the height can be controlled via the iDrive also, so that's also very nice to have. That's the kind of boot you're getting. This is what you're getting here. 12-volt socket, hooks to mount some stuff. Open this and you can see a space saver tire, which will do the job for you if you ran into punctures. Close the button. Like I said, 360-degree camera and reversing sensor is on offer. AdBlue for the diesel and the diesel cap, of course. So all of this makes the BMW a very good car on the inside and outside. Of course, the feature list is a little bit short even now, but we're expecting that to change in the future because BMW is clearly working on more features that we know, and this generation also has gotten a bit more on the dated side. But what remains fantastic is this powertrain, and how very specifically, let me tell you that while driving. So guys, we're out driving the BMW X320D MSport, like I told you earlier, and after putting in almost 500 kilometers on it, what do we think about it? Well, after driving it for a long time, and after a really long time, because back then also X3 was one of our top choices in this category, and it continues to retain that aspect quite well, because nothing really has changed in terms of suspension and engine, at least on paper. But I am assuming there is some change to the suspension, but despite all of that, there is not much of a change in the way it drives. Because this is an M Sport, we have bigger wheels on offer. That does change certain aspects. We'll get to back to that aspect in a bit. What I can clearly tell you right now is this engine is a BS6 phase 2 2-liter diesel engine, making 190 PS of power, 400 plus Newton meters of torque, and all of that is going through the fantastic 8-speed gearbox, which is smooth, seamless, and the shifts are precise. Upshifts and downshifts are quick enough, and as always, a brilliant gearbox, quite literally, in the BMW X3 made it to this 2-liter diesel engine. This diesel engine actually tells us the fact that, you know, why diesels are still alive and doing well, and why they are actually a very good choice even today, is because of the performance, the fuel efficiency, and you know, the kind of refinement a diesel can offer even today, after all the you know, criticism on the diesel part by a group of, you know, people who are criticizing diesels and saying that it's not right. It's definitely not. This is one of the cleanest diesel engines sold in the world. At the same time, 0 to 100 is done under 8 seconds. Top speed is 213 kilometers an hour, which is limited, of course, for an SUV. I think that is still a lot of speed. And at the same time, this is just a 4-cylinder motor, not a 6-cylinder. Like I said, 20D means 4-cylinder, and 30D or 30i means 6 cylinders. At least in India, the badging goes that way. Engine terrifically refined, very smooth. Of course, it doesn't really have the old school character like how it had back in the day, you know, that typical roar from the engine. Now at least it doesn't sound bad, and it sounds a little bit linear and you know, a little bit too you know, smooth, and the character really isn't there in the way the previous engine made sound. All of that is gone from BS6, and that is also apparent with the BS6 phase 2 here as well. In fact, I'm telling you all of that for a diesel is because the diesel was also actually an enthusiast choice, the way it sounded, and it almost felt like it was a petrol, because low end and mid range torque was brilliant, and it continues to be brilliant. Top end is pretty good as well. This engine pulls from 140 to 180 kilometers in the same way it goes from 0 to 100. Slightly slower, of course, but you know, it's still got that zest of pulling away. And as you can see, I just went from 50 to 70 in no time. So that's the kind of you know, flexibility that you get with this engine is extremely high. It's been a while that I drove the X3, and now I'm coming, all those you know, aspects of how I remember it to be is easily coming back to me, because the flexibility, the practicality, the top speed, the performance, all of that is brilliant. The refinement is brilliant. In fact, in Eco Pro mode, the engine is so smooth and so silent, you will barely realize whether this is a petrol or a diesel, even if you know that you bought a diesel car. So that good, you know, in terms of refinement, this engine is. I can barely hear anything apart from a bit of road noise because of the alloy wheels, which are bigger. The engine noise, of course, is really well in check. What is very important for me to tell you about this engine is the fuel efficiency. It is absolutely brilliant for a car of this size. You get around a 70-liter fuel tank. You can do almost 900 kilometers on this in real life, given the speeds. So if the speeds are between 120 and 140 kilometers an hour, you can easily clock 800-900 kilometers on a single tank. So that is almost a fuel efficiency of 14 to 15 kilometers per liter, even after driving hard and fast. When we were driving it really sanely, we even saw it delivering 17. Those are hatchback numbers, you know, when it comes to fuel efficiency. The BMW engine, you know, just keeps you always entertained, even with the fuel efficiency figures, and keeps your wallet well in check at the same time. The fuel efficiency is fantastic. The diesel delivers on every single aspect, and you know, that is the absolute best part of a BMW diesel engine, is that it just never fails to impress every single time in every single car. It's, you know, tuned in a way to suit every other body type that they sell this engine with, and they always succeed in giving the customer a lot for their money. This is an exceptional engine in the way it behaves. You know, all of that coming together quite well, you end up getting a very big tank range. You get a lot of fuel efficiency. You can literally, if you stay in Bombay, you can go to Goa and come back probably on the same tank if you're, you know, driving normally. So that's the kind of fuel efficiency you're getting here, and I think that is something you know, is praiseworthy. You get all the performance, you get the fantastic tuning. The engine still is really good, and it's quite lively as well, even though it's not as lively and as fun as it used to be. But then again, the core aspects are here, so we're not really complaining about it. We're just letting you know. talking about ride quality, again on these 18-inch wheels, it does a little bit of the jiggle, if you can see right now, and that's what typical German car trade that you get with stiff suspension. But there is enough compliance to make it really comfortable for our roads. All those small potholes, those manhole covers which are sometimes very big and very dug down, and all of that is taken care of quite well. Bare minimum is transferred inside the cabin, and the ride quality, the comfort aspect is also quite high. Even in sport mode, it behaves like how an SUV should be. So when you go into sport mode, the suspension also becomes very sporty, and I'm assuming the suspension goes lower a little bit. And despite that, we were on the expressway where there are aspects where the road is quite ribbed and not that smooth. It was taking all of that quite well. At the same time, this this chassis is still keeping us quite comfortable, and that is something that is truly amazing, because in sport mode, while driving fantastic, body roll decreases dramatically, steering feedback improves, steering weighs up quite well, and despite all of that, the ride quality is brilliant. So I think this is something that is the magic of air suspension in the X3, and that's one of the many reasons why we are really impressed with the X3, because right from the fuel efficiency to the comfort aspect to the performance and the way it drives, the kind of refinement it offers, all of this comes together really well. And for a price that is an ex-showroom price of, like I told you, 70 lakh rupees, it does offer you great driving dynamics. It offers you fantastic comfort and refinement and fuel efficiency, makes it a great touring car for you and your family. Tons of space in the back and in the boot space. Just pack your bags and leave, and once you are done with the 1000 kilometer trip, you will realize that how good this car is, and that will keep you hooked for a very long time. I think I would be as well this time, because over and over X3 shows that the kind of dimensions and the space and the practicality and all of this coming together so well, it just becomes a really tempting package. This is one of those everyday cars that has me bowled over, and I'm pretty sure you'll love it as well. I think that's it. That's our review of the BMW X3. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. Follow us on social media and website for everyday updates. Until then, goodbye.